drink. That's just like disruption follows intent. So as soon as that business started, my car break down. And then I didn't have the know-how. I didn't have the personal development or any of this stuff that I've grown and evolved into now. So guess what I do? I give up after a while. Like I said, this ain't working out, catching ride or trying to borrow my mommy car. Like it just didn't work anymore.
Yeah.
And I let the business go. I just let it go. Now look at it. Look at like these companies all over the place.
Multi-billion-dollar company.
Same thing with the recording studio. I was recording before. I had Pro Tools Studio before people could have recorded in their house. Like where it was thousands of dollars for the setup.
Mm-hmm.
That's why everyone was to the studio, right? But I didn't have no business head.
Right.
I didn't have any mental fortitude to say, hey, Sophie, stick with it, man.
Mm-hmm.
But tell them they have to pay or they can't come. Like, I didn't have any of that yet. So guess what I do? I give up.
Mm-hmm.
I had a company called Stomping Ground Radio, streaming radio from 2007.
Wow.
Where
Early in the game.
streaming was so difficult. In order to do it, you had to forward the ports on your router to be able to even allow people to pick up your signal. Like it was technical. It wasn't no go to the website, create an account, create a station.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Having the artists, the local artists in Freeport come through and promote their new songs and streaming radio from 2008. But I give up on them things. But look, all of those things would have been busting right now. That's like the beginning of podcast before a podcast was even a word.
Yep.
You know what kind of platform or what those things would have been? But I had no, I wasn't consistent. I didn't have stick-to-itiveness. That's why now, when I lock in on something now, I don't let it go ever because I'm like, I done miss out on too many things that I knew were good that to stop or give up now. I came too far.
When it be like that, this is why I look at life. Like, imagine if you to stick with these things in your young days, right? Because obviously your mentality was different. So you to make all this money at such a young age, your mentality was on a different mindset than where it is now.
Right.
You still, like you say, when you was making the money with your print company, you make $600, you was blowing $400-$500. You feel like that money coming. So it's almost like that was somewhat of a blessing that these things didn't work out because that was you'd been starting to make thousands or hundreds of thousands. So now you feel like that money, like our dope boys would be at home. They feel like that money there forever.
And then it just go.
And it just go.
You wouldn't know what to do with yourself.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing I always look at. Like, I kind of glad I didn't make so much money in my younger days because I probably would have had a permanent gold grill, dread, some crazy stuff that I know, like where I'm at now in my life, like, you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's always a blessing sometimes to make money when you kind of settle in things out your system, because you look at life differently. Because now you understand time is more important than buying this or buying that and buying this. You actually could go without these stuff. You know what I mean? And fortunately for me and you, we grew up in the era before social media. So we know what it is, how to be content before the now these younger generation, all they know is social media, so they got to keep up with the Joneses.
Yeah, it's like validation seeking every day for
you see what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like,
yeah, you're right.
Crazy,
and
but
you're right.
But
man.
They some good ideas because especially now people love convenience. They love convenience.
Bro, they pay anything for convenience.
I'm telling you. Well, in America.
Yeah. Home too. It's starting to see the apps and stuff coming out. Like I see Craven and
and that's all right.
Yeah, and then they have another one in Freeport too. Go Getters, I think.
They got one in Freeport.
Yeah,
okay,
man.
Okay.
Like so, people are. It's evolving. Is it
an actual app or?
I think it's an actual app.
Okay.
I think it's an actual app.
That's good, man.
Yeah.
Well, we went over all the businesses. What kind of taught you a lesson? You know what I mean? What you kind of like could have been a multi-billion-dollar company, but you know, what were the lessons like you said, you kind of explain all the things you learned from dealing with all those things, but not having the right business mind at that time.
And I would say that that's because all of those businesses, all of those ideas, and even executing on those ideas, that was just like in me.
Mm-hmm.
But what I was missing was mentorship. I had no one actually giving me the game or helping me along the way. Like, even though my parents were entrepreneurs and financially they supported me in almost anything I wanted to do. I ain't gonna lie.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't get a lot of advice because my ideas was always so far out. They didn't even understand food delivery.
Yeah,
why you want to deliver food?
You definitely is ahead of your time.
Like, why you want to have a studio? Why you want to be a DJ? Why you want to have a radio station on the internet? Girl, what you doing? Like, it was so far out. They didn't understand, but they didn't stop me either. But it wasn't like I was getting advice. And that's the thing I think would have been the difference between, and maybe I just wasn't ready, like you say. Maybe God was just preparing me for where I'm at now and the things that I'm walking into in this season of my life.
Yeah, and you're much more seasoned and understanding how to deal with it now.
Exactly. I wasn't ready then. And then, like you say, what if those things had blown up to their potential and I still had no money management. I had no investment mindset. I just had fun. Like, how much fun and how much friends I could have fun with.
Right.
You know what I mean? So mentorship was missing from the equation. I didn't understand the importance of it. Personal development, as far as building and developing a mindset for business and for entrepreneurship and for growth. I didn't even know that was a thing. You know, I wasn't reading no books. I wasn't listening to no audios. You know, so if I had those pieces to the puzzle then, I feel like we would have blasted off. But I didn't. Yeah. But now I have those things, and now guess what? The world is evolving. There's new opportunities. There's new trends.
For real.
You know, there's new things that you're walking into to do the right things with.
And then even like Uber now and Lyft, you could buy stocks, you know, because they publicly traded companies now. So you could, you know, even though you're the actual first, but now you could invest in stocks and buy stocks and, you know, just chill. Man.
And that's what I think. Like, I think my message to most people is, like, stop allowing things you don't understand to stop you from getting involved in them. Because the reason that I think a lot of people don't invest is because invest just seems like a mystical word that's just fancy and I don't understand.
Right.
Or I don't have enough money to invest. But listen to me, everything that you wear, you should be invested in.
That's so
true. I know you're a sneakerhead.
Yep.
You like Nike and you like Jordan.
Definitely got stocks in Nike.
Smart man. Because if you believe in the product that much, you should be invested because it ain't only you.
Yep.
Why not make some money from it? You know what I mean?
I know.
And it's a long-term game. Like, I tell people, like, investing is so important because when you think about the banks, which is what we've been taught to put our money, if the banks are giving you any interest, because most give 0% now, they're giving 0.001%. They're giving us nothing.
Basically, yep.
So your money sitting in the bank isn't growing, it's actually losing money because they're charging you fees every month. So if you were to put $1,000 in the bank and don't touch it, in a couple of years it's going to be zero because they charge you $15 every month just to have it there. So you actually losing. So what's the risk in putting your money in something that could grow at 6, 8, 9, 10, 12% per month for you?
Yep.
It's just lack of education. You know what I mean? And it's just lack of knowledge. And just being blessed to be in certain environments, I realize that rich people, that's all they do is invest. They keep enough money in an account to pay bills. Every other dollar is invested. That's true. I'm adapting that in my life now. Like now, I work a job now. And I'm working the job for a few reasons. One, the skills I'm developing, because it's basically like I'm getting to learn Wall Street and investing at the highest level possible. Two, the relationships I'm building.
Right.
I'm talking to CEOs of companies worth $2-3 billion every day. That don't happen normally. So why? And they paying me to be there? Like, it's for skills. I mean, it's for I'm learning new skill sets. And every time I get paid from that job, I get paid from there once a month. Honestly, I take off I know exactly how much my bills is monthly. I take that off and put that on my checking account, and whatever's left over, I invested between stocks and crypto immediately, like auto draft.
Yeah. So
at the end of the month, if I don't have much money left, it ain't because I don't have no money. I just don't have no money to waste. And I feel like if more people adopt that mindset as a collective, we'll be so fast, so fast. But people ain't willing to sacrifice the happy hours and the Saturday nights and the Friday nights for their future. And that's the difference.
That's the crazy thing though, because these things can always be around. You know what I mean? Ain't nothing new under the sun. So if you miss this club or this concert, it's coming back around.
Exactly.
Like if it don't be this person who's hot right now, it can be another artist who's hot. You know what
Exactly.
I mean? So,
Yeah.
but it's sacrifice though, and then too, a lot of people ain't where they is because of fear. You know what I mean?
Right.
Fear, being scared to fail, being scared to be criticized. You know, you want to get out their comfort zone. So a lot of people just where they are just because, and then when they get old or whatever, they have this regret, like if I should have done this, I should have done this. But you know, it is what it is, though. I mean,
Something that helped me when I was like, because listen to me, the person you see right now is not the person I used to be. Like I was I was shy. If I would walk in a room, I would almost disappear. Like I want to be the fly on the wall, like almost act like you wouldn't even see me.
right?
You know, like, but I've evolved because I realized, here's one thing that really, this sounds corny and cliche, but it literally changed my life, is when I heard someone say this, they said, people put so much value on other people's opinion, right? We live our life based on other people's opinion. But in order for something to be rare, right, to be valuable, it has to be rare. Everyone has an opinion. It's not valuable at all. That really changed my whole perspective because I was like, bro, I really care what people think and why. And the minute I stopped caring about what anyone else thought about me, I started to do what I wanted to do. And every time I did it, it was like up, up, up.
That's the crazy thing too, though, because the people who criticizing you won't never do or try what you do. Like they're the ones who are extremely scary. You know what I mean?
The
But
jokiest
they'll
ones.
criticize you out the ass,
Right.
like,
Because
you know
that's
what I
what gives them validation, is having something to say. But you have plenty to say, but you have not. You're doing nothing.
Yeah.
Action means something to me.
True.
Words don't mean anything, and I know that's hard. But that saying, sticks and stones may break my bones. Words don't hurt me. Words can hurt, but words can throw me off.
Right.
Like you
right.
can say, I might like what you say, but
Right.
what anyone says isn't enough to stop me from doing what I was going to do anyway.
Right.
Action, like action. You know.
You spoke about well, I saw on your social media the year separation. What's that all about?
The year separation. It's basically what that means is, in order to elevate, you gotta isolate. In order to go to the new levels you've never been before, you're gonna have to do some things you've never done before. And one of those things is some people who you've been holding on to or who've been holding on to you, you gotta shake them. You have to separate yourself from everyone else. You can't, like, you can't.
Everybody can go.
Everyone can go with you where you trying to go. Now, if you ain't trying to go that high, you can carry everyone. Like, if you're just trying to go right there, then sure.
Yeah.
But if you're trying to make, like, I trying to rocket, like, quantum leaps, drastic, I have to be very lean, very light.
Real talk. That's true.
You have to shake a lot of habits, a lot of people, a lot of things you used to do, you know, and you just got to separate yourself from the masses. And that's literal. You know what I mean? And that's really what that's about for me this year. It's like, this the year where I'm feeling like everything lining up. Everything is lining up for like the blast off. I'm not going to allow dead weight to cost me can take off.
Right.
So it might be hard, it might be tough, it mightn't be the easiest thing to do, it might be uncomfortable, it might be lonely, but it's temporary.
I like that though. I like that, the year separation. A lot of people won't understand that though. You know what I mean? Even family members, you know, like family members, oh, I ain't hear from you, I ain't hear from you like this, I can't see you, this and that. And they won't understand until you get to that level of success where they get it now.
Then they'll understand.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
But during that process, oh, they acting different. They you know what I mean? Like,
They switched.
yeah, but
They Richard
it
switch.
really ain't that is how bad you want it.
Yeah.
And these the sacrifices you willing to put in place to get where you going.
Yep. Yep.
And some family members just don't
They don't get it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And it's like something that I heard before. I said, what are you willing to give up to go up? If you're willing to give up, you can't go up. And what
Yeah.
are you willing to do without?
Mm-hmm.
Like to glow up? Like what? And most people ain't willing to give up nothing.
Nothing. And it don't work like that.
Like they're like, I want to be exactly like this.
Like you won't be able to
Do
be the-
everything.
Everything would knock. Be to Dubai, do all this, do that, do this. How a company make 100 million a year, and like how
And
like
nothing
really
changes. Like it don't work that way.
that don't work.
You know, like this year, and this
Mm-hmm.
year separation is personal for me. Like I told all my, I don't have a big circle anymore. I like everything. Listen to me. When you growing and you evolving, everything that you used to do,
Mm-hmm.
the complete opposite becomes your norm. I
Mhm.
used to have all the friends.
Mm-hmm.
Now I have a very small, tight knit of friends, and I'm happier. But I told all of them last year, because I had to prepare.
Mm-hmm.
I said, listen, 2024, don't ask me to do nothing. I love you all. We don't do it all. Please, this year, allow me 1 year. I don't want to go on no trip. I don't want no birthdays.
Mm-hmm.
Please don't get married this year because I ain't coming. Like, I'm not doing it because I need 1 year of complete focus of, I in an accumulation stage. The only way you can get a critical mass is to accumulate. And accumulate means you can't have no shedding displaced because all that means at the end of the year, you still where you was last year.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and if your friends are your friends, they'll understand. They ain't gonna be in their feelings.
That's true.
And if someone in their feelings, then that means it's time to separate from them. Because now that's one of the dead weight baggage that's going to stop you from going to that next level you're trying to go to.
Right.
You know,
Right.
and if you have a group of friends who really believe in you, like I'm blessed with a great like inner circle of friends who they know if I say something, it'll happen.
Mhm.
It might not happen the day I said it was going to happen, but it's going
It's
to
gonna
happen.
happen.
So if I say, hey, I need y'all to do this for me so I can get this goal done, they just allow me because they know I getting that goal done and it's going to benefit us all. You know what I mean? That's really, so sometimes you have to set those boundaries with your friends and your family too.
Yeah. Definitely.
Like, I ain't
definitely.
going to no concert. Don't ask me about Burna Boy. No. So if you don't want us to be mad, don't even ask.
Right.
Just go.
Right.
Let me watch y'all on social. I'm not coming. And sometimes you have to, those are the tough things you got to do to separate yourself from everyone else because you got to be willing to do what most people won't do so you can live the life most people don't live.
That's deep. For real.
You know?
So what would you say is your ultimate goal? Like when it all is said and done, what you could be like, okay, yeah, this where I love where I'm at. Like
It's so simple. My ultimate goal is to get to a level in life, in business, just in character, like just overall, where a young Bahamian, a young Bahamian look at me and say, boy, because I watch her journey, I could do it too. That's
Right.
my ultimate goal. I don't care what it is for you. You could be start opening your first barbershop. It could be, I don't care what it is. Just to say it's possible. Like I feel like I want my name to be synonymous with possibilities.
hmm
Like it ain't about a dollar amount. Yes, my number is $10 million. That's my number.
Oh yeah?
10 million. That's all.
Okay.
Here's why. A lot of people think that you need way more than you need to live the life you want to live. And because they're thinking that the number's so big, it's so unrealistic, they ain't believing it, that they don't never take the first step. I know I can make $10 million. And guess what? $10 million, right? It's like, that's allowing you to live on like $65,000 a month. I can do anything on $65,000 a month. And that's passive. That's without having to work. That's just like every month, $65,000. This is re-up. Like Super Mario, like every month for you to just come like a fresh 65. What can't you do? So I know I need to have $10 million invested, getting like an 8% return to make that kind of money. That's my goal. I don't need $1 billion. $1 billion is great, but I ain't need it. That's excessive. But
Yeah,
some people say, I need to make $1 billion. But you have negative 65. That's so far that you can't even believe yourself.
right, right.
You understand? Like, you got to make your goals believable. So for me, the ultimate goal is just to be at a point where people can look at me and say, "Wait, she been about it and she make it happen. So if she can make it happen, I can make it happen too." I just want to
Right.
be a glimmer of hope for people who from the same place I from who could embark on the same thing I did. You know, I'm an American. I moved here. I was blessed to end up with papers, right? And I maximize every opportunity. Anyone could do that.
So after you make this 10 million, which you can do,
Yeah, come on.
definitely can do. Um, as an entrepreneur, would you ever retire?
Retire as
Like,
in
I talking just,
stop.
yeah,
I don't think in entrepreneurship you ever really stop because at a certain point it's not about money, it's about impact. So
I agree.
even if I have the money I want to make, I still be out here doing something because I gotta
Yeah.
be imparting knowledge into the next generation or
Right,
being a mentor to someone or
right.
learning from someone else who could help me go to another level. But of course the goal is to be able to wake up when I'm tired sleeping,
Mm-hmm.
go on the boat and island hop. As long as I'd like, as long as the weather permits,
Right.
eat and drink what I want and take as many people around me
Mm-hmm.
that I'd like to, but also have them in a position where they're lackeys. They just could come because their business, their affairs in order to. That's the goal. You know what I mean? That's
That's
the
dope.
ultimate goal.
Yeah. The island hopping thing, that's something I wish more beamers would kind of get involved in though, because we have so many islands that the average beaming would go Freeport, Nassau, Abaco, Bimini. But
That's
like you don't hear people going to Inagua, Maguana, Auckland's.
Right?
You know what I mean? Long Island, like Rugged Island, you know?
So much.
That's why when you was telling me about your with boss, you
Yeah,
said
the guy.
he has a home in Berry Islands.
He's building a home in Berry Islands, and he takes his boat to the Berry Islands. He said that's his favorite place in the Bahamas is the Berry Islands.
When you said that, it's Berry Islands.
Because here's why: when you get to a level of success,
Mm,
what you want is remoteness. You want less people around you. So he
exclusivity.
will be exclusive. He
Right.
said he like Berry Islands and he likes the Exuma Keys. He don't go to Georgetown. He get into them keys where only accessible by boat.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? So what I want us as Bahamian people to do is one, we have to appreciate what we have. And I am guilty. I didn't appreciate our country until I moved away from it. And when I go places and I talking to people and they telling me about what they's doing in the Bahamas, I be like, I ain't even never do that night from there. You know, but their Bahamas is different. It ain't Nassau. It ain't Bahama by the Monkey Bar. You know, it's like they on
right.
boats in Long Island and Abaco on the remote keys. You know, like, and I think like in this world of social media, if we can leverage it to our advantage, people who have drive and people who are about it and really about making things happen, we gotta make some money to show people that this stuff, sections in the club and thing, that's stupid, man. Like, that stuff don't make sense to me. Why you letting me pay $400 for Casamigos when it costs $50 in the liquor store? You can't trick me.
well, that's awesome. You're
Bro,
right.
and we fall for it? Like,
Yep.
that's stupid.
Yeah.
Let's be able to go to to remote islands on boats that we own together as friends and have a great time. And that's the new, that's what it about, man.
True. True.
This dumb stuff gotta stop.
But even